Hi, this is Atalanta, and we're here on Everyday Witchcraft once again, and we have a very special guest. She's all the way from the Netherlands. This is medium Andjela. She has been a psychic medium for at least 12 years, and she does some pretty interesting things besides working with spirituality and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to let her sort of explain to you what she does. Andjela, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, what you do, your experience, things like that.
What I do is I help women who can get pregnant by themselves. I help them open up the energy so they can connect with the baby soul. So I talk to the baby soul, and the baby soul tells me what the mother needs to do or what the baby wants the mother to work on. I connect them with each other, so I connect her aura with the baby soul of the aura of the baby soul, so I connect them together so they can emerge with each other, and so the mother can get pregnant with the baby.
So you actually talk to the unborn child?
Yes, I talk to the baby souls. Yes, I talk with
Wow.
them telepathically.
Okay, so do you do this? I have no idea how this process works. So we're going to kind of get into that in a minute, but do you do this while you're awake? Do you do this while you're sleeping? How does that work?
Well, it's funny because the baby souls come to me, and a couple days later, the mother in B is connecting to me like she wants to be pregnant, and then I say, yeah, I already dreamed your baby, and I already know if it's a boy or a girl. So that's amazing. The baby soul comes to me, and later the mother comes with it. So the mother feels intuitively that she has to contact me, and that I'm the bridge between mother and the baby soul.
Wow,
So
that
it's
is
really
really neat.
awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So how does the process work? Do you mind if we ask, kind of, you don't have to go into it in depth, but just sort of step by step, the mother comes to you or the baby soul comes to you. How does that work?
Well, when the mother contact me, and then she tells me that she can get pregnant or she tried for many years, then I immediately see in the energy how far the pregnancy is, what kind of color her aura is, and how the connection is with the baby soul, if she's open for the baby, if she's not, where she has to work on, because it depends a lot on the mother if she's open to receive, because the most important energy is receiving, and then she can receive the energy of the baby in her energy in her aura.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, let me ask you, do you have to be, or does the mother have to be present by you, next to you, or is this something you can do from afar? For example, like, do they have to
No,
be actually in your presence?
no, she doesn't have to be in my presence, because energy is everywhere, and energy doesn't look at how far something is or anything. It's present, it's here currently. So I can read the energy if she's in America, in China, wherever. I can read her energy just by contacting and hearing her voice.
Okay, so you
That is so.
mentioned women that are trying to get pregnant that are having a hard time getting pregnant. Is this how you help them? Um, because is it that they're not fertile? Is it that a baby is not ready to be born? Is it how does that work exactly?
Um, the most of my experience I had with mothers who wanted to get pregnant were that they were afraid to get pregnant. And when you're afraid, or when you have fears, blockages, then the baby can't enter your energy, and that's the most I saw with my experience with women who wanted to get pregnant. They're like, yeah, I want to get pregnant, but that's what the mind says. But the heart says, oh no, I'm not ready yet. So we can see what she has to work on so she can be receptive.
Are the babies' souls, are they like a wiped clean slate whenever they start, or is this the different things when they
Yes,
go to the different, so they're just completely clean. They're learning
they're
everything from the beginning.
completely clean. They're
Wow.
completely clean, and that's why they're from the fifth dimensional, because they don't know what is fear, they don't know what is ego, they don't know what's all those negative energies. So they're so pure. They only want to be accepted. They're so pure. They're so vulnerable, and they're only about unconditional love. They're spreading unconditional love. They're like teaching others what is unconditional love. They are really leaders of how to be humble, how to be compassionate, and things like that. And well, I'm telling you now, I'm channeling the energies of the baby souls. Like they're saying, like they're so pure, they're so humble. They're like you want to squeeze them. You will immediately feel like, oh, this is a fifth dimensional child or baby. It's it's a very different energy. They shine a lot of beautiful light. I see a lot of light energy. They're really like little angels, little angels on
Angels.
earth.
So now the little angels, are they different from angels that you work with? Because I know you work with angels. I mean, are there different types of angels?
Yeah, you have different kind of angels. You can call on different angels. You have angels for love. You have angel for communication. You have angels for protection, for healing. You have angels for new ideas, for creation. You have angels for animals. You have angels for justice. You have angels for connecting with angels to have your channel more receptive, more open, replenishing your energies, things like that.
Sure. There are different dimensions that you can be born into. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and how do you differentiate between the different dimensions? Like, how do you, are there lessons on each dimension that you need to learn? Is that the way that works?
Yes.
Okay, and how many
Yeah.
dimensions are there?
Well, now we are dealing with the fifth dimensional. That's right now for human beings. It's like the most important dimension, because the fifth dimension is like unconditional love, the feeling of being accepted. It's now the new age energy of the Aquarius. So you don't put energy like forcing or manipulating energy, but you just let it flow, and the better result it gets when you don't expect anything. So the fifth dimensional is like you just surrender yourself and give it to the highest good, because you know deep inside the highest good has something for you that's better than you thought about it, or that you planned about it, or what you expected. Because if you don't expect anything, you get everything, I always say.
If a mother has a pregnancy and say the pregnancy isn't going well, are you able to tell if the child is sick? Are you able to kind of guide the mother as far as that is concerned, to maybe make the child healthier? Is that a possibility?
Well, I'm not a doctor for first,
Right.
but I can see in the energy what the baby needs to learn. So it can also be a miscarriage, but a miscarriage is mostly when the baby isn't ready yet, but the soul of the baby is just coming like an angel to learn the experience of how are human emotions, what is that, and how do humans um, experience emotions, and mostly when they have a miscarriage, mostly the angels are leaving a present, and that's a pregnancy a couple months later. So it's all for the higher good, and most of the baby souls that are going back are ascending in their energy, so they can come back as really a baby soul, come back as a human, because they're first are angels, and they are experience like how are emotions, what does human people feel when they feeling emotions, when they're sad, when they're happy, things like that.
Misunderstanding. The baby
So the
souls
baby,
are actually like the angels, or they're two separate things? Angels and then baby souls. Are they the same, or are they different?
their first are angel souls, well, angels, and later when the pregnancy is more in 5 6 months, then they're more when they're getting bigger, growing in the belly, then they're becoming more and more human, and when they come on earth they are fully complete human. So in the belly they're still baby, yeah, still angel souls, little baby souls,
Oh,
to
wow.
yeah, to learn what it is to have emotions and things like that. So it's the most important period when women are pregnant are that they're happy, that they're contacting with the baby, that they feel very connected to their heart and the heart of the baby. So that's a really heart connection, and when there's a heart connection, then the baby doesn't feel fierce or something, then it feels like safe, and it feels accepted. And the most important thing with a pregnancy is that the baby feels that it's accepted, and that it belongs there.
So you're actually communicating with the baby, and the baby is telling you messages and things like that. Is it, do they come to you visually? Do they come to you? Is it audible? Is it, do you actually hear them? Is it just little pop-up, not visions, but like little pictures? How do you actually communicate with them?
It's everything. It's little pictures, visions. They show me from past life, for example. They telling me so clairvoyant abilities that I'm using. They're on every kind of way. They telling me things, and even a couple days before the mother contacts me, I even dreamed the baby, and then later the mother contacted me and she said, yeah, I want to get pregnant. And then I'm telling, like, yeah, I know, I dreamed your baby.
I already
The
already
baby,
been talking to your
yeah,
baby, so that's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, and then the mother says like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. I felt such like a pull towards your website. I was like looking at medium and pregnancy, and then I came at your website. I said, yeah, that's the baby that is trying to intuitively direct you towards me. It's yeah, it's amazing how
I
it
like that.
works."
But can you tell us a little story of something that was just amazing, that amazed you? Maybe with a client that happened.
Yeah, a client of me was for the second time pregnant. I helped her with the first child, and now I helped her with the second child. And we were doing the baby healing, so the baby could connect it with her much better. And I remember that we did a meditation and healing. And afterwards, I asked her, how was it? She said, yeah, I felt the baby very strongly, and I felt it was kicking to my belly and things like that. I said, yeah, what I saw was it was like swimming in your water in your belly. And she said, yeah, just a half hour ago we went swimming. I said, yeah, she really did, because she showed me how she was in your belly.
Swimming around. Oh, that's so precious. That is so
Yeah, that was,
sweet.
yeah, so that was amazing. But I have to tell you another experience. Women, she was, I think, 42 or 43. she wanted a baby with her new boyfriend, and she needed to do IVF because otherwise it couldn't. And she asked me to clean up her eggs so she can get pregnant. And the most amazing thing happened. We did a meditation, and I was asking for Mother Mary always for guidance and things like that, because she's always protective for mothers and babies and things like that. And then I said to her, and then I heard the baby heartbeat. And I asked her, "Do you hear the heartbeat of the baby?" We were doing the meditation. And she said, "Yeah, I heard a heartbeat." And we cried both. It was so amazing. It was
Oh,
so beautiful. We heard the same thing. The baby was presenting themselves with a heartbeat. It was amazing. It was, yeah, it
beautiful.
was, yeah.
That's beautiful. I mean, I can't even imagine the joy that you bring to other people and the joy you experience that you know, yourself. So which angels do you work with? Are there in particular ones you work with? Is there a whole realm of angels that you work with? Are there go-to angels that you go to, you know, for particular situations?
Go
Yeah, to go to.
Well, my most important angel when I work with baby souls, or when I connect to children, because I also do a lot of work with children who don't feel like accepted in the family or something. I work with Archangel Metatron. Metatron is the archangel for children. He's the angel that gives them guidance, that protects them, and things like that. But I also work closely with Archangel Michael because he's the protector. He protects the energy. I work with Mother Mary. I work with Archangel Raphael, the healer. Archangel Raziel is also a healer. I work with Archangel Ariel when I work with animals, because Archangel Ariel is the angel of animals. So I work with a lot of angels. If
I
I didn't
see that.
mention all
All of
angels,
them.
sorry. Archangel Gabriel is the messenger. So yeah, a lot of angels.
Well, we've reached the end of our show. We've run out of time, and I hate that because there's just so much more, so many more questions that I have for you, and I'm sure the audience does as well. As far as people getting in contact with you, do you have a website or something that they can come and ask questions?
Yes, I do. My website is www.mediumangela.com.
Okay, and if I remember correctly, it's Andjela is Andjela. So it's www.mediumangela, Andjela.com. So everybody, if you've got a question, please feel free to contact her. And I feel so blessed that I've had you on the show. I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time and coming on.
Thank you.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Our product review today is the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris Ann, and it is a 79 card deck. The cards are beautiful. They're not as big as a regular tarot card deck. They are small. They fit in the palm of your hand. But each card has a curious creature on it that is specialized on it with all kinds of hidden gems that give you just tons of information within the card. It's based off of the Rider Waite Tarot deck, which is super easy to use. So this deck is good for not only the advanced diviner, but also the beginner that wants something a little bit different to start off with. So it does have all the four major suits. We have Pentacles. We have Wands. We have Cups. And we have Swords. Let's don't forget the major arcana. So as you can see, like I said, the artistry is beautiful on it. and the cards are of great quality, and they do fit in the palm of your hand, so they're easy to carry around with you. They come in this beautiful box. It does come with a book, which is a great addition for your library anyway, but it has all the information you need to read this deck. It also has very special spreads in it that were created just for this particular deck. So yes, I recommend you checking it out. It is The Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris Ann. This segment of the show is called Dear Atalanta, and this is where I have you, the viewers, write into me with questions you have regarding witchcraft or the paranormal. So let's get started. Our first question is, Dear Atalanta, how did the black cat become associated with witches? That's a really good question. So during the early times, black cats were considered bad luck. It was just a superstition that they had. They were considered bad luck. Then when the burning times came, witches and cats were considered of the devil. Okay, so they associated them together. The black cat became associated with the witch just for the fact of the superstition of it being evil or unlucky. So it was actually during the burning times that the black cat became the familiar of choice for witches. So our next question. Dear Atalanta, can children be witches? And if so, are they called something different? So yes, yes, children can definitely be witches. They don't have to be, they can be toddlers, they can be babies, that just put their energy into maybe a spell or a ceremony or a ritual. But anybody of the age of knowing, can be a witch and considered a witch. Now, as far as what we call them, you've heard the little slang terms, baby witch, witchling, wickling. Those are all little terms that you might hear passed around. But in essence, they're just considered witches. So thank you for writing in, and anyone who wants to do so, please write me at Atalanta, Atalanta at bonewitch.com. That's another episode of Everyday Witchcraft. Thank you so much, Medium Andjela, for letting us have you as a guest on the show. Thank you all for tuning in and watching, and make sure you keep your eyes out because the next show is actually a special show that was recorded while I was out on the road. It's going to take a little different twist to it. So I will see you in a couple of weeks on Everyday Witchcraft. Blessed be.